Salam guys! Welcome to Twice Inspired with Habiba
and Shukri.
So we really hope this podcast will inspire you.
We're just two best friends who love to have deep, meaningful conversations.
And even though the things we're going to talk about are nothing new,
sometimes it's helpful to hear it twice so you can be twice inspired. Salam everybody and Habiba.
Salam.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Finished school, so I'm literally just chilling, relaxing, and just sorting my life out. I mean, there's nothing to sort out. I'm literally just relaxing and doing whatever I want.
Nice though. Do you remember in the beginning when you were like, yeah, I don't want to tell people I'm a teacher, but then it just came out. You just always talk about teaching.
Yeah, because I just want to talk about it. It's not that deep in it. And so school's finished. It was
teacher, if you guys don't know, a secondary school teacher that teaches English to a group of rough boys.
It's a mixed school, but there's like twice as many boys. But I won't tell you the school. But yeah, it was sad because I left that school because I'm going to a new school, and I didn't really think I would. I did think I was gonna miss it, but not like. I didn't think it was that deep. But then like the kids were so cute. Like they wrote like really cute notes about how I'm the best teacher ever, which is not true, but they're just so cute. And just cute things. And then so basically like it was really sad to leave all the kids and also the other teachers as well, like, and a few other teachers are leaving as well, and like another teacher from our department, so like everyone had to make like little speeches and stuff. He got really emotional because I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. I always cry when people make the speeches, even though like I get emotional because I don't know why, because it's not that like I'm not that close to them. Even like there was this one teacher who he had been teaching at our school since 1996, which is the year that I was born, and he just been there for so long, and I didn't really know him like that.
He was leaving.
Yeah, he was leaving. This was in my first year.
He was retiring or something.
Yeah, he was retiring. Yeah, he was retiring. They did like a whole little like a PowerPoint like slideshow for him about different things that he had done there. Aww. They found evidence of like the very first interview, and it was just all on paper. It was really old, and then it was just so emotional. And then everyone like stood up to give him a clap because he'd done so much at this school for 20 years or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, yeah, like that was I was so embarrassed because I just didn't think I was gonna have to do a speech here, and then it was just so embarrassing, but it was nice. I was just like, thanks to everyone, thanks to the English department, blah, blah. And then it was just cute. And then we had a pizza truck and an ice cream truck.
Oh,
I know. Think about that. Like, I mean,
for even the kids.
No, the kids weren't there. So the last day, basically, the kids have a half day.
Oh,
so they finish at like 12. And then they go home and we go and do like all the speeches, the end of year things, and then we came down, we saw pizza truck and ice cream truck, and I was like, oh my god, yay. So they had yummy pizza and ice cream. It was just so cute. But I'm staying in like the same kind of, it's like the same network kind of thing, so it won't be far. Like I'll still see people.
Yeah, and you were there for 3 years, it was kind of long still.
Yeah, like
that's mad. I can't believe it's been 3 years.
I know, it's literally so weird because I feel like I'm such a different person. And at that school, like I really grew a lot as well. And it's cute, like it's where I became a teacher and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I'm just chilling now.
When we were in school, we didn't think the teachers were having these after school parties. Like you
literally like it's so funny.
Pizza trucks and ice cream trucks.
Teachers are crazy. And then they went to the prom, and I didn't go because I just didn't want to.
Why? Oh my god, that's so cute.
Which I love the 11s. I actually do love them, but they left school such a long time ago, and I wrote them all little cards and got them like treats and stuff. We already said bye and stuff, and it was on a boat, and also like
that's fancy.
Yeah,
we just had ours in sixth form. The sixth form.
We had ours, no, it's so rubbish. But like what they do at prom, like I was just like, I'm just gonna feel too awkward, like because all the kids are dressed up, they dance and like I'm not like a teacher, I'm not gonna be dancing with them. I don't even dance with anyone, so I thought, do you know what, this is their time, I don't really need to be there. And also the teachers that were going, I'm not really gonna be doing what they're doing either, so it's like
Yeah, they'll probably be
fine.
stuff.
Yeah, like it's fine. But yeah, so that chapter of my life is closed. So good.
Oh, new beginnings.
I know. How are you? What have you been up to?
Nothing really, just working and moved to East London. So obviously me and Shukri are originally from South. And now I've moved to East because I'm just staying with my auntie for a bit because of family circumstances. Which is funny because now I'm going to be near Shukri. So
yeah,
Shukri moved away from me to East. So now I'm moving to East with her. It's just for a few months. And, it's nice to be in a different environment. Like change is nice. Change is scary because it's like you don't know what's going to happen and you're just familiar with what is familiar.
Yeah.
But then when change happens and then it's good, like it's really nice.
Yeah, definitely. It is nice. Definitely. I remember when I moved, everyone was like, "How's the move?" I didn't really feel like, I don't know, it wasn't that deep to me. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was nice. I really liked the area. Like as in, I guess maybe because it was a good change.
Yeah.
I didn't feel strong feelings about it. I was just like, yeah, this is really good. Like I like it. But I know that sometimes moving can be so long. I still have things at my mom's house, but maybe I'll get it. Maybe I won't. But that's good. So basically, like this episode, we're just gonna talk about like since it's like halfway through 2021, we're just gonna do like a mid-year reflection kind of thing. 3 things we've achieved, 3 lessons we've learned, and 3 goals for the future. It doesn't have to be 3, but I mean, it just sounds good. Because obviously, it's obviously good to like look back on the year or half the year and just see where you're at and refresh yourself and your intentions and your goals and stuff like that. I'm so upset that I didn't write anything down. Like I actually usually write down these resolutions.
Oh, you mean for New Year's?
Let me see. Maybe we even did we talk about it on the on our podcast? I don't think so. So jarring. But usually I write things down, and last year I wrote down a letter. Like we should have done this. How maybe we can, I don't know.
I thought you did all of that for some reason because you usually do that.
Yeah, I do usually do that, but I was just busy in it. I didn't do it this year, but I feel like I know what my New Year's resolutions are anyway. But I just wish that I wrote a letter because it's so fun to like write letters and then look back on it a year later.
Oh my God, maybe I actually wrote a letter, but God knows where I put it.
What, for the beginning of 2021?
I feel like I remember writing a letter and I was like, I'm going to open this in 5 years' time or something. I don't
5 years? Oh my God, I would have lost that.
Know.
But I remember that day.
Next year, not 5 years.
Yeah. When we were at New Year's, when everyone came to my house,
yeah,
I made everyone write a letter. I mean, I don't know if I made everyone write a letter things to each other, but I definitely wrote a letter. That's when I wrote it. Anyway, but like we're just gonna go through some achievements like so far from January to now. I didn't even write this one down, but I think obviously our podcast.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, that's definitely a big one because we started it in January, and like, yeah, we're sticking to doing it even when it gets tough. Even when it gets tough.
Yeah, literally, like in a way, I when we started, I thought we would still continue, obviously, but I think it's still an achievement to like, yeah, to still just be going and still just be putting in the effort and like making a commitment, because I think like sometimes you can think like, what, oh, I don't want to do this, or like, you know, things that are hobbies that you decide to make into something is really weird because it's like, but then what if I don't want to do it? Why am I forcing myself to do it? But then it's a commitment. That's then I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because yeah.
Yeah, I get what you mean. But I think if we do this for at least a year and then we do want to stop, I feel like, I don't know why, but I feel like a year is a good time, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what is a good time. Because the thing is, it's like some people have been doing it for years and years and then they see something from, I don't know. I think you just have to balance out if it's good or not. as in if it's good for you, if it's good for whatever. But I think
that's true actually.
it's good. Do you know what I like? Sometimes I haven't done this though, but I feel like it will be so cute to like look back. If we get to the end of the year, inshallah, we can look back and listen to ourselves and be like, see, oh my God, actually on that point, right? You know how I was gonna say, see if we agree with what we said or not. Yeah. I already don't agree with something that I said.
What did you want?
Okay, so it just randomly came to me and I don't know when, I don't know why, like I just like it kept coming to me, like basically, you know that episode when we're talking about like motherhood, I feel like cringe. I haven't even listened to it since I first listened to it when it came out, but I don't think I agree with that anymore. I don't completely disagree with it, but I was just thinking like there are so many, you know how we were saying single, everyone should basically stay at home. That's basically what we're saying, yeah. But I think we're being so, well, me, like I think there's a lot of people that are, I don't think working or not working is what makes you a good mum. Like I think there's a lot of people that are stay-at-home mums and their children still get messed up, and people that like work and their children are like doing amazing things and they're successful. I don't think it's as simple as that. I think it's definitely like what we were saying about like, you know, caring for your child, putting in that effort for them and giving them attention and giving them love. Because you could be at home, right, and like ignore your kids, or like if they cry, you leave, like, or whatever, like you could still be a bad mom at home. I just think it was too simplistic, like to say those things. But I don't think it was completely wrong. And also like I don't feel like kids really remember, like it depends if like obviously if you're workaholic, I think that's bad, like obviously because you should have time for your family and your friends, but I don't think like if you have a job, like if you have a normal job, that means your kids are suffering.
Yeah, no, I agree. I get you. That's really true what you said. It doesn't make you a good or bad mum whether or not you work or stay at home, because there's so many other factors and so many other things that play into it. But also, yeah, motherhood's just so difficult and tricky. Like just being a parent in general, even fatherhood, as people who aren't mothers, it's like,
Exactly, and that as well. I was like, why are you saying this? People gonna think we're crazy, but it is what it is, isn't it? Like
we're allowed to change and evolve our opinions and our thoughts. That's part of growing and just living. And the world always changes and circumstances always change, so naturally we will change as well.
Exactly.
But I do still think, yeah, I just think children should be given just their due in attention, kind of thing.
100%.
And also once kids start going to school and stuff, it's probably easier for mothers to work anyway.
Yeah.
But I've never understood, how does it work when they're on school, when the summer holidays happen? What do parents who are working, what do they do? Take off the whole summer?
No, probably definitely not. Like
get nanny,
like
something.
Nannies, childminders, family. Because I remember a teacher was saying that like because we have holidays off at the same time as kids, her friends and stuff would always try to like leave their kids basically at her house. But I remember even in the summer, like sometimes we'll just go to our cousin's house for like a week. Like, you know, people just, I don't know, in the summer kids just do what the hell they want. I don't know, but I think,
yeah, when you're in secondary school,
I hadn't even thought that.
When like kids are in primary school, what do parents do?
Yeah, no, they probably,
a nanny for that many hours, that's expensive. What the hell?
Yeah, no, but maybe like their mom or their auntie or like their little sister, or like I'm sure there's family that can look after them. Maybe, I don't know. For me, like in our family, there's always someone that can look after the kids.
Yeah, what about families that might not have that? I don't know.
Or I'm sure there's like I know that youth groups and like schools and stuff like that do like activities, but I don't know if they're expensive and stuff. I'm sure there's activities in the summer. There always is. But yeah, so just that, like I kept thinking about it and I was like, okay, I'm gonna say it. But I haven't, as I said, I haven't actually listened back to it, but I don't think it's just the certainty that I was saying, like, yes, like you must stay at home. Like, if not, then you're like, I don't think so. But at the same time, I feel like we did say, obviously, if you don't have a choice, or obviously if blah blah blah, but we didn't really make the point of like you can still be a good mom if you're working, and you can still be a bad mom if you're at home. Like, but it's just very simple, obviously.
Well, my miracle morning routine,
Yeah.
that obviously was spoke about in the first episode ever. My brother actually messaged me the other day. He was like, "Are you still doing your miracle morning?" And I was like, no. I was like, "Why?" And he was like, just because he was thinking of doing it, and he wanted to know if, if I actually stuck by it, then, that means it's actually really good. And I was like, no, but it is actually really good. I just didn't stick by it because of whatever reasons, but it actually helped me achieve certain things in life, and it helped me kind of set my mind straight and set goals and stuff. So it's definitely something people should try and do, even if it's for like a couple months, because it kind of just sets you on your way. And I do want to start doing it again, to be honest, because I do feel like I'm at a point in my life now where I'm like, okay, where am I going from here?
Yeah.
And that will kind of help me redirect.
I feel like with the morning miracle, it's like, so basically, like, when you want to start changing your life or whatever, there's this thing where like you have so much motivation, but like discipline is more important than motivation, because discipline makes you actually like carry on doing that commitment.
Yeah.
But motivation is like what you get at the beginning. So you're like, I'm gonna do morning miracle, I'm gonna read all the books and everything. But I think that's why it's good to like do a few things at a time, and it doesn't have to be every day. Like for me, I feel like I do loads of the things that Morning Miracle says. So, for example, I would wake up, like even now that I'm off, I still wake up because my body just wakes up. So I'm like, okay, I'll wake up early, and like, I don't write in my journal every day, but I try to write in it every few days just to like see what I'm thinking and feeling. And like, I still do my exercise, I still read, and like, I mean, I don't really do affirmations, but like, I guess that can kind of go into the journal time, like what you kind of want to achieve and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I don't know what else was on there, but I feel like maybe if anyone did want to do it, they should do it like one at a time. Because I feel like, for example, if you wake up late and you don't do exercise and you don't read and you don't journal and you don't do anything, and then you're like, I'm gonna do all of them every day, that's just like difficult.
Yeah, even me, a lot of the things in it I still do. It's just not like maybe particularly.
Yeah.
For example, exercise is one of them. I still exercise regularly, but just maybe not straight away in the morning.
Yeah.
Or yeah, like I still journal and stuff like that. But I think what happened with me, the reason I stopped was because I was on such a high, and then like I kind of hit a low, and I was still doing the miracle morning because I was forcing myself, but it wasn't helping. So I was kind of like, okay, the miracle morning was good for when I used it, and now it's maybe time to just move away from it. And like I said, like I do want to do it again, so maybe it will be good to do it again,
Will I restart that? Yeah.
kind of thing. Because also I'm someone who, I like routine, but I also don't like it. If you know what I mean. Like I like to change things up. I get bored after a while, so I can't do the same thing repetitively for a very long time. But I do like to know like that things are organized and what's happening and things like that. But I'm not super duper like OCD about it.
Yeah.
Like some people love their routine and it's like their comfort, which is actually probably really good. I definitely should get more into a routine, but at the same time, like life just gets repetitive and boring if you're just set in a routine and then you just live your life by that routine. But it's like live life a little bit,
Yeah. And if you're doing those things to like improve your life, you need to enjoy it as well. Like there needs to come a point where you enjoy it. Like I feel like I enjoy exercise. Do you know what the funny thing is with me? Like I just always have the same things that I'm doing stuff. But it's like for me, I just do exercise to feel good and to feel strong.
Same.
But I mean, I'll talk about it when we talk about like the goals. I do need to just improve my eating. I'm not gonna lie, but also in my mind, like sometimes I just say to myself, like, this is one thing I need to improve, because I think I've talked about it, but I don't always, sometimes you don't always follow what you say. Like, I believe that what you say to yourself and what you think is like important and stuff. But sometimes it's so hard because you're like, this is what I've been doing for so long. Like I've told myself I'm so addicted, I'm addicted to food. And like I keep saying like, and it's jarring me so much. Okay. Like
Just breathe.
but
Focus.
focus. One of my other things actually, like even having said that, I do have less snacks, but in my mind sometimes, yeah, I think I don't even think it's because I know it, but I need to change that. I'm like, if I eat something nice, then like I'll feel better, because sometimes if I have free time, I'm just like, yeah, oh my god, like let me just eat this. But I'm doing that less, because like one of my other achievements that I put on there is like my cooking skills. Like I actually enjoy cooking and like tasting different foods and like having vegetables and fruit and like all different things. Like so I feel like before, in my mind, I was like, if it's health, like I was just like in my mind, if it's healthy, sorry, if it's healthy, like it's gonna be nasty, but it's not. Like that's just so stupid and childish. Like I feel like my I don't know the word, but I feel like I'm more mature in like how I eat. Like I'll cook food rather than like go and buy junk, which is obviously that's kind of huge for me because I didn't do it before.
Yeah, I think that actually happens just naturally with like age. Well, not naturally, because obviously you have to make the effort as well, and some people don't ever get out of that. But
yeah,
I've noticed that as well with me. Yeah, I don't buy half as much junk as I used to when I was younger, which is good. I guess it's just part of maturing as well, really, isn't it? And making that conscious effort.
yeah, because it's like you have to get your life together, like cook, like you need to be able to cook no matter who you are, like man, woman,
But also your mom
child.
was like a good influence for that as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
because like in my mind I knew, okay, I'm getting married so I need to cook, but also like you just need to cook anyway, like what the hell. Like
yeah,
to me now I'm just
by
like,
yourself and not
if
with your
you're a grown
parents.
up, huh?
Yeah, once you live without your parents and by yourself, you just you have to learn to cook, obviously.
Yeah, and I wasn't like 100% foreign to it. Like when I was at uni I did cook like rice or pasta like a few times, but I lived with people that cooked. Do you know what I mean? And we just order or whatever. Like it wasn't. It was even in my house. Like the pressure was never on me. It's not even that much on me now, but it's like, yeah, I just enjoy it, and I think it's like, yeah, it's just like it's not really like I'm not stressed. Like oh my days, I have to do this. It's like okay, like I'll cook, blah blah blah. Especially since I have so much time now. So I'm actually proud of myself for that. Like I feel like I have improved in that area. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I can tell as well. Like it is a different, like it's a different trickery kind of thing. But yeah.
You always knew how to cook anyway, so.
But no, I was gonna say, because that also shows how important it is to marry people, to marry someone who's gonna like positively influence your life and bring out the best in you.
Yeah.
Because if you married someone who was like immature and just ordered junk food all the time and
Oh my god,
never
yeah.
at home, like you'd continue being like that as well.
That'd be so
But the
bad.
fact that he was able to have that positive impact in your life is really good.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
Even with yeah, like mashallah, even with like my weight loss and stuff, like because I specifically said like, by the way, I'm serious, like I do want to lose weight and I need to do these things, blah 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 blah. And he's good at like saying, okay, let's do it. So like whenever I do exercise and stuff like that, we go jogging on the weekends and whatever, like he's like basically my personal trainer. And sometimes I literally hate him. But it's good because it's like I know later I'll say thank you for that. Like I'm sorry, but like yeah, so that's good as well. Like alhamdulillah, luckily like he's actually like healthy in that way, because I feel like if I was with someone that was like normal or like not that healthy or like me, like it would just be a disaster. I'm not gonna lie. It'll just be a disaster. So alhamdulillah for that.
yeah, that is good. What was some of your other ones then?
Another one that another achievement I put on there is like getting a new job. I know you got a new job as well, so maybe you could talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, alhamdulillah, like I'm just excited because it's like a chance to grow and develop and like and do loads of the things that I want to do and just kind of move on. I always knew like when I started at school, I would always move on to a new school because I didn't want to be at the school that I trained at, just to like, you know, shake it up a bit, go somewhere new and see what like, because it's the only school I've been to. So it'll be nice to see what other schools are like. What about you?
You need to venture out, see the world. Yeah, no, I recently got a new job as well, which was good. And it's part-time as well, so it's not too intense, which is good.
Yeah.
Kind of just chill half the time and work on other things that I need to work on in life. And then also work to make money. I say work on other things in life, like I'm working on some big stuff. I'm really not. But just other commitments, you know. I think it's important to rest and
exactly
stuff. But I should probably use my time more wisely, my days off more wisely, not gonna lie, and not just use them as like days to chill.
Yeah, chilling is important, but also like you just feel more productive you have if you have other things to do. Like, you know, sometimes if I have a day off, I used to do this and it's so weird to me, like because I used to wake up like really late and just do nothing or just do crazy, like just I don't know. I'm happy because I feel like my body wants me to do things, so I just get things done. Even if it's just a walk, like if it's a nice walk, if it's like write down in your journal, just anything to like really take in the day. Like the day didn't just pass you by. Like something happened, even if it was just a thought.
Yeah, being productive is so important.
That's kind of similar to one of the lessons I think I wrote down. Like, I was going to talk about it last, but it was about like making the most out of everything. So basically, the other thing we're going to talk about is like lessons that we learned so far that we're going to like take with us. And I feel one of them was everything ends. And even in the book that I was reading today, it's called Maybe You Should Talk to Someone, and it's about a therapist who went to see a therapist after her boyfriend or fiance of like I can't remember how many years, 3, 4, 5 years, might be longer, but like just broke up with her one day, like suddenly, and just said, you know, because she had a child, an 8-year-old boy, and he said, I don't want to live with a kid. But he had he had 2 children of his own. They just left for college. And then she was like blindsided because when he met her, she had a child, you know what I mean? It's not like
that's crazy, yeah, what the hell?
She had her child. So she was just like, what? And then basically, yeah, they broke up. Like, and he was so nice. Like he used to bring her breakfast in bed. Like she could always rely on him. Like he was like, it was great. Like, and they were gonna get married. And then he just said, you know, I don't want to live with a child. And my children have just left the house and blah blah, like just I was like, whoa, okay. And then so she goes to see a therapist because she feels like her life's falling apart, and then she's just like, it's not that deep, like I just hate him. But I haven't read all of it yet, but she talks about how it's like deeper than that, and how there were times where he made that obvious to her, but he was kind of avoiding his feelings. She was kind of allowing him to avoid it because like he would say how I think his parents had like a bad relationship and he had issues with his ex-wife, and there were all these things that like she just let slide. And I think she's gonna try and like find out what she kind of had to hold herself accountable for that as well. And what was the other thing?
It sounds like a relationship book more than.
No, so basically it's like it's all about therapy. So she goes into therapy, and then he like first the guy that she speaks to, the therapist, and she's like he tells her that she reflects on it and realizes that it's like she spoke on the past, but it's like she's losing her future, and that's quite a big deal for people when you have to kind of get over your future, because she was going to marry him. The future was always with him. And then I think it just kind of hit her hard, because like she was saying how she's had breakups in the past, but I don't know, as we go on I'll see, but it's just about like confronting the things you haven't confronted yourself. And I think it's going to get deeper, I don't know. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting, because I think people always think it's always about the past, but what you go through like affects your future, because it's like that's not a future you anymore. Do you know what I mean? You might lose a job, or you might lose a man or someone in your life, and then like your whole future's gone. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I think actually kind of really affect you, like your mental health really badly. Like if you've set up this future for yourself and that falls through for whatever reason, like I can only imagine how devastating that is for anyone, even if it's like a career or just something, even not being in a relationship with someone. Like let's
like
say
your plans. And she also talks about her other patients. It's really interesting. And then she's got a patient who's like got terminal cancer, and she is married, she's got a good job, she's like really healthy, but obviously she's got cancer. And then she basically talks about how she kind of had to like deal with her life, and there's a point where she makes a bucket list, and it's like very weird how she kind of knows that death is coming, and it really like obviously if anyone that finds that out, it would affect them. But then she says how people in life is kind of funny how we talk about the future so freely, like I'm gonna lose weight. That was one of the things, like I'm gonna lose weight, we'll have a kid in 2 years, we'll do this. But it's like nothing is actually for sure, like nothing is actually guaranteed. Do you know what I mean? So
Islam teaches that us as well, isn't it? Where
yeah,
like, nothing is guaranteed. That's why we always say, if Allah wills for everything, we should always say inshallah as a reminder, like I'll meet you tomorrow if Allah wills, like anything.
Exactly.
And it is it's really scary, because like I just think my future's like, yeah, I'm gonna get married, have kids, and like live this happy family life. But sometimes reality hits me and I'm just like, anything could happen. Firstly, who knows, maybe God's chosen for me to not get married, or maybe God's chosen for me to not have kids. Yeah. And it's like, not like in my head, when I think of those two things not happening, I'm kind of like, what am I going to do with my life then?
Yeah.
But I guess you just have to always kind of have a plan B as well. And also just remember that kind of take life as it goes and just enjoy every day and every moment, and stop fixating on the future. Like I've realized sometimes, like I realize maybe when I get down in like a mood, it's because I'm fixating too much on the future and I'm not just living in the moment that I have right now. And the moment I have right now, I'm so blessed and I have everything in life that I need. So I should just be happy, because right now, like things are good. Like forget about the future, because we're not, God knows what's going to happen in the future. Things might get worse in the future, or things could get better. You just don't know. So just live in the moment and be happy for what you feel now. That's literally advice to myself and how I feel like I need to start thinking and feeling, because yeah.
Literally so true, because like she was talking about how you can focus too much on like this. I mean, it made me think about Islam as well. Like, you know, Allah is the plan, like we plan, but Allah plans, and it's like nothing. Like, and it reminds me of like the what's the word? Oh, I can't remember. But basically, how fleeting this world is. Like, it's not here forever. Like, this is not our final place. And like she was saying, one way to like deal with that is like just acknowledging and dealing with like what is actually going on, because there's her friend in there and she has a son who's autistic, like severely autistic, and for ages she was focusing on how like he's not going to be a normal child, and like he can't play with the other kids, and their life is always going to be difficult, like he's never going to become an independent person. And there's this essay, apparently it's a famous essay, it's called Welcome to Holland, and it's about this. They do this like analogy of like, you've been planning to go to Italy, and you've been planning for ages, and you're excited to, you know, go on the gondolas in Venice, and the Colosseum and all the amazing, beautiful places, you know, Italy, oh my God, Rome, everything, right? And then like you're on the plane, and then when you land, they say, welcome to Holland. And it's like, it's not that it's bad, it's not that like you're in a dungeon, but you're in Holland, and it's not as maybe glitzy and glam, but there's like there's different amazing things about Holland. And her friend like sent her that essay, and she was kind of like, like, just stop. Like, she was really annoyed because she was just like, no, blah blah. But then like after a while, she also realizes herself that it's true, because her friend started to see like the beauty, because she was annoyed for herself, but also for her son, because she was like, she wanted him to have a happy life, and but also for them it's like
better. That's him. Like,
exactly.
He doesn't know any better. Like, for him, that is who he is. So it's like, he's okay. Do you know what I mean?
And she found out all the like, you know, different ways to like communicate with him and to appreciate him and all the things that he did well, and like found a different support group with like mums that had children like that as well, and found friends, and it was fine. And it was like, because sometimes in your head, because for her, she was thinking like, she was planning for a typical child and a typical upbringing with typical problems and blah blah blah, and then it all changes, and like you can focus so much on like how it's not going to be what you expected. And I feel like as humans we do that so much, like, but I prepared for this, like this is how it's supposed to be. I thought it was going to be like this, I thought it was going to be like this, but sometimes that doesn't happen. So anyway, this patient, like, she kind of accepts it. She makes a bucket list of everything she wants to do. She focuses on her marriage, on her job, and then like she's got like experimental, like she's been doing like experimental treatments, and then they start to work and stuff, and it does go away, but then she's focused, she's like worried about if it will come back. And then her and her husband are talking about if they want to have a child, but then she's like, imagine it comes back. But then her husband's really good, and he's like, I will still like be there for that child, whatever happens to you and the child, whatever. So then they decide to have a child, and it's like, it's true, you can't sit around thinking about what if I get cancer again, what if like this happens, what if, you just have to go for it, you know? So I thought it was good.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important, just in our daily life, our mindset should be like that for everything, even just small little things. Like if we lose something, like, oh my God, I lost my AirPod Pro. I bought AirPod Pros.
Oh God.
I
lost mine. I didn't have Pro.
Yeah, I bought AirPod Pros, and they're really expensive, obviously, but I got them really cheap because I got them like a graded class, because I ain't rich to be buying brand new. Yeah. And I went jogging, and like an idiot, I put them in my pocket because I thought it should be fine, like it's a pocket. Okay. And lo and behold, I put my hand in my pocket, and I feel one AirPod, and I'm like, oh my God. So best believe for 1.5 hours, I went around the whole park from where all the places I jogged looking for this AirPod. But subhanAllah, the mad thing is, as soon as I clocked I lost it, I was like, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un, Allahumma ajuri fi musibati wa akhlif li khayra minha, which is like, everything belongs to Allah, and oh Allah, replace what I've lost with something better. And there's this really beautiful hadith that relates to that. Really quickly paraphrasing, a Sahabi lost her husband, and she was obviously really upset about it. And the Prophet ﷺ told her to say this dua, and she was like, oh Prophet, who is better than my husband? Like, there's no one better than him. And then like later on, the Prophet ﷺ proposed to her. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, lost her husband, who was like a really like amazing man, but then afterwards she got married to the Prophet ﷺ, and she became one of the Prophet's wives, which is obviously amazing. So I always try and say this dua when I lose something, rather than like being upset about it. So I said this dua, and then I was like, do you know what, there's still hope, I can go around the park and look for it. So literally I looked for it, and then I downloaded this app called Nextdoor, where like everyone in your neighborhood is on that app. And I was like, hi guys, I lost my AirPod Pro in the common on yesterday morning. No one replied to me, and I haven't found it still, but I still have hope.
You still have one. Perhaps you still have one. I lost everything in the case.
No, but the whole reason I got it, babes, was for noise cancellation, and it doesn't work with one AirPod. So I literally don't use it anymore. I use my old AirPods now, because I actually don't, they're not that comfortable. I prefer the original AirPod style. So, but inshallah, I believe Allah will replace it with something better. And I just had to tell myself, like, maybe I've lost it for a reason. Like, maybe the noise cancellation isn't good for my ears. Like, I don't know. I just had to come to terms with it. Obviously, I was upset a little bit, but when you actually deep it, it's just, and you realize this is happening to me for a good cause, not good cause, but for a reason, it's
Yeah.
fine. But yeah, just with little things like that in life, if you always try and have that mindset where you're thinking positively from the situation rather than like in a negative way, then when big events happen to you in your life that are supposedly catastrophic, like inshallah you'll be able to see it in a positive light
Yeah.
and move forward rather than be like down in the dumps about it. But obviously at the same time it's okay to have feelings and be sad about things, because like you always say it's okay to like feel it and stuff, because obviously we're human beings. Even the Prophet ﷺ, he would feel sad and he had the year of sadness. Yeah, but we just shouldn't wallow in our sadness for too long.
Yeah. Like
Trying
it's,
to
yeah. As in to move forward with
mm,
a life situation. You can be sad about your AirPods, that's fine. But like I'm saying, like, yeah, I mean, I just thought, yeah, that is just so interesting. You have to just kind of tolerate what's going on, because, and also like it won't last forever. Like you'll get through it. It's fine. Not like, oh, it's fine, don't worry about it. But I mean, you'll get through it.
yeah.
Another thing I said is that like two things, I'm going to say them together. Like the first one was about like integrity. Like I realized that like my integrity is very important to me, and also the other one was that people will treat you how you present yourself. So like with the integrity, I feel like for ages I mean, I don't really know, but I just think this like, oh, I'm a people pleaser. Like I like everything to be friendly. Like I would rather just like keep the peace and everyone just be nice to each other. Just because I don't want confrontation, I don't want problems. But actually, like integrity is very important to me, and like integrity is like standing up for what you believe is right, even when it might not be easy or everyone might not agree with you.
Mm,
And I feel like literally I've like surprised myself, but it's a good way, like because I'm just like, yeah, actually I don't think, and you can still be polite, you can still, you know, keep your character, you don't need to like while out, but I'm happy that like I know I can kind of say what I need to say and not be like intimidated, or like just be like, yeah, I'm not gonna do anything just because I don't want to upset anyone. Because the
yeah.
thing is, I feel like if you do speak up, number one, people respect you more, and people think, do you know what? Yeah, that's true what she's saying, or at least she's standing up for what she thinks. And you know, there's not people are worried about different things, but it's like I would rather not progress or not get something that I want than kind of be a sellout and just kind of suck up to certain people just to get benefits, because I think that's just I just hate, like that actually makes me feel sick. Um and yeah, and that kind of links into the thing about like people are going to treat you how you are, so that's like you have to take accountability for it. Because I was listening to the receipts, yeah, and in one of the episodes they were saying how, you know, we need to talk about how women don't really take accountability, and I feel like that's so true. Like sometimes this is just like on a tangent, but like no matter what happens, right? I feel like women don't say what they did wrong. Like, you know, sometimes like a situation can be wrong, right? What someone did to you. Like, imagine you're in a relationship and the man cheated on her, or the man did something wrong. It's like, that's true, he did that wrong. But also, like, maybe you did something, not to make him cheat, but I'm just saying in the relationship, like, you probably did something wrong as well. And just generally, because we live in this world, yeah, where we're like, love yourself, like you are great. They made me laugh so much here because they're saying like we act like we need to be loved, and like, you know, praised and cherished and everything just for being born. Like we didn't do anything.
So true.
I was like, that's true. Like we should encourage each other to like do the right thing, not just love yourself even if you have flaws. Like I don't mean flaws like appearance or anything, but I mean if you've done something wrong, like
Character
your friends should
flaws.
say, don't do that, you know?
Mm.
Um,
Yeah,
so I thought,
I agree. I feel like this whole self-love thing is obviously important, but also Islamically, we should always attribute it to Allah, like, because then
yeah,
it becomes actually like a major sin. I was talking to my auntie and she was saying
um,
some of the major sins are of the heart. And one of them was like, I think like pride and arrogance and stuff like that. and I forgot the word, but where you think like you're the bee's knees and you think you're just like so beautiful and you just think you're the best. And I was like to I was like, but yeah, but we should like think good of ourselves and we should have like self-confidence and stuff. And she was like, yeah, as long as you attribute it to Allah. Yeah, and she was like, as long as you attribute it to Allah. So for example, if you think you're beautiful, that's good, but remember Allah is the one who gave you that beauty. Or if you're really clever, it's not because of you, it's because Allah gifted you with that. So always bring it back to thanking Allah and being grateful to him, so you don't think so highly of yourself in a way that puts down other people, or in a way that you think you're better than other people, because you're not. Like, you're only like that because God gave it to you, not because of your own kind of given talents.
Yeah, exactly, because it's like no, but it's true, because then like, and when things don't go your way, you need to think about what you did for that, like as in, you can't be like, oh my god, I'm so good, I'm so clever, I'm so pretty, I'm so this, I'm so that. But then like when the bad things start to happen, like it's not your fault either. Like you need to take accountability. You can praise yourself and say, well, I'm happy that I did this, alhamdulillah, I did this, blah, blah, blah. But when things go wrong, I think it's important to like take accountability and be like, especially in a situation, right, where that person's not right either. Like, so for example, someone treats you wrong, or someone does something to you and you're like, no, that's not fair. But it's like, but then you might act out in a certain way, you might act out of character and make it worse. Like, that's not good either. So you shouldn't, just because someone did something, like even like I say this to myself, like I shouldn't go out of my character and be like, well, yeah, like now I'm gonna be rude because like I'm upset and like you're rude and whatever. And that was kind of
that.
yeah.
I've realized that recently as well about something. Like,
Yeah.
so obviously, if someone's, I feel like, has done me wrong and I'm really annoyed and upset with them, and I start telling people like, oh, this person's so annoying, like they did this, I just hate them, stuff like that, like, and then I'm essentially backbiting about them, even though like what they've done is wrong, and I'm
Yeah.
expressing my like annoyance and my emotions and feelings about it because they've hurt me and upset me.
Yeah.
But essentially I'm going to be backbiting about that person now by saying like
Yeah.
horrible things about them, even if like it comes from a place of where like I kind of feel like I need to express this,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like they've hurt me and I need to talk to people about it. It's still not nice. Like, I could talk about the situation, but just don't start cussing that person or like
Yeah.
saying
Yeah.
such a waste man or whatever. Like,
Yeah, like talk about how you feel, not like what that person is or what their character is.
yeah,
Or...
and especially because I know that if what I say gets back, I'm talking about me in this specific circumstance, right?
Yeah.
I know that if what I've said gets back to this person, they're never gonna like be like, oh, you said this about me, because they kind of know they've done me wrong, so they can't really come and say that.
Yeah.
But it will still hurt them that I'm chatting about them behind their back and saying these horrible things, because it's like, okay, why do you have to do that? Do you know what I mean? And they kind of brought it up to me recently, like they don't really like me, talking about them, even though they kind of know where I'm coming from and stuff, and they know they've done me wrong. And I was kind of like, do you know what, you're right, like I actually shouldn't.
Yeah.
Whereas before I've always just never thought about it, because I'm like, it's fine because you've done me wrong and like people need to know.
Yeah, like you feel kind of like you feel this is right, like what I'm doing is right.
And everyone's just like, yeah, like cheering me on. No one's telling me, wait, have you got hold up, like you're potentially backbiting this person, like
Yeah,
stop.
that's true actually. Yeah, that is true.
So that I can relate to that. Like I feel like I need to hold myself accountable for that. Yeah.
100%. Should we do like goals for the next 6 months or whatever's left?
Yeah, let's.
What do you think? Do you have any goals?
I actually don't, but that's why I want to do the miracle morning, because I know that will kind of set me straight and recollaborate. Like it will just make my brain be like, okay, what do I want to achieve from life, and start focusing on things. So I think one thing I do want to do then is start the miracle morning again, or start aspects from it, for example, affirmations and things like that, so that I can start thinking of things that I want to achieve throughout my life, not just in the foreseeable future, but like things that will last for the rest of my life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's good. I think that's
Like
good. I
things to
think,
implement, and like the person that I want to become, rather than
yeah.
just like activities. Like that book you were reading about the habits,
Atomic Habits, yeah.
that's where
I'll get you on.
it's not just about doing things and achieving goals, but it's about becoming that person. So being a healthy person rather than like, I'm gonna eat healthy
Yeah.
for like
Because
X
that sounds
amount
like, yeah, because that sounds like it's temporary, like you're just gonna do it for a bit. 100%. Like for me, the same kind of thing, like incorporating that kind of person, I think more Islamic principles, like not in terms of like like obviously reading Quran and praying more and that fasting, that's good as well. But I mean like behaving like Muslim. Like I feel like obviously we always try to, but things like making excuses for people when they did the wrong thing, or in your opinion they did the wrong thing, like forgiveness, and like like how you're supposed to like sit down or lay down when you're angry, basically like don't respond when you're angry, like things like that, like in situations sometimes I think we kind of forget ourselves and we think, okay, like I'm just going to react. And especially with me, I'm always like, because I want to express my emotions, like this is how I feel, but sometimes just relax and just calm down and then you can respond better. When you, because like I was talking about my integrity as well, like especially when I feel like what I'm saying is right and I need to say this and it's very important and I need to defend myself, I sometimes go a little bit overboard. Not always, like probably just once, like honestly. But I think it's good to remind myself that even if like someone's being very annoying, or like for example, you feel like they deserve it or whatever, don't change your actions. Like you need to act like a Muslim. Like, well, where me and my husband were watching this like a Muslim man series, and it's about like the Prophet Sallallahu Hajj, and just like his whole time in Medina and everything, like when they got like kicked out of Mecca from by the Quraysh and stuff, and he was talking about they made a treaty of they made a treaty that like there's not going to be any, like no one's going to start problems basically, right? And then they kind of did, like the Quraysh did start problems, so the Prophet Sallallahu did have basically
reasons
they
to retaliate.
want to go to war. Yeah. But then he used it as an opportunity to like win the hearts and minds of the people in Mecca and the very people that were like trying to persecute the Muslims and everything. And I was like, wow, like that's really good. Like as in there's certain moments where like the way that you act, if it's not necessary, like you might be right to act like that, like you're actually justified. But if you act in a different way, it can really change that person's perspective. And I feel like if more people acted the way that the Prophet ﷺ acted in his example, I just feel like the whole world would be Muslim. Because if someone thought, okay, that person's a Muslim, like they're never gonna cheat me, they're never gonna treat me badly, they're never gonna be disrespectful, they're never gonna show me that kind of, do you know what I mean? If we all had this character, I feel like it would make such a huge difference. So yeah, that's one of my goals, just to kind of act in that way, have a better character. And then I'll just say the other ones quickly as well. The other one was like, well, I had a few, so I'll just say them quickly. Be more adaptable. So like any situation that I'm in, it can be a good time and it can be great if like my attitude is. Because sometimes you come across people that sometimes like I just judge people and I think these are not my people. I'm just here and I'll go. But I feel like if you open yourself up and you're like, I'm gonna enjoy myself, that you can. So I just want to adapt to any situation. I want to be better with money. I want to read more. I want to write more. And I want to get more into yoga because yoga is so hard, but I have a yoga mat. So,
If you have a yoga mat, you want to get it.
Yeah, I feel like I have a yoga mat and like I've got to do yoga.
If you go gym, I think there should be yoga classes in the gym. Like I'm sure some gyms offer yoga classes.
Yeah, absolutely not. I'm not doing a class with anyone.
What do you mean? Go to, like, my uncle says he goes to this yoga class. He's with
I don't like
Virgin, and he says it's really good.
Is it mixed?
Goes to the corner. The one's watching. Well, like when he's not looking at anyone. I don't know.
No, I like to, because I do,
Well,
yoga
I
with
know.
Adrian. She's on YouTube.
Yes, we're going.
But I just said, oh, yoga with Adrian. She's on YouTube, but it was like really hard. I did a beginner's one. It was really hard. But
Yeah, you can literally do it with on YouTube. Not gonna lie.
what were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say. I was just gonna make a joke saying my husband ain't going to the yoga class. Um,
No, but because yoga, you need to. I'm not doing yoga in tracksuit bottoms and hoodies. Do you know what I mean? And my hijab on. I want to be relaxed because yoga
yeah,
is about calming your
it's
mind.
true.
You know.
Yeah, I do it. I just have this one routine that I've done for like years.
Wow.
Just whenever I feel like I need to do some stretches, I just do this one routine, and it does the job. I can send you if you want.
Yeah, send it to me because basically yesterday I did so much. I didn't do so much exercise, but I did like upper body at the gym, and
Mm.
I was doing like like my arms. They still kind of hurt now, but and then I was doing yoga after that. Did I go? Yeah, I was doing yoga after that, right? Because I went in the morning and then I was like, okay, let me do something now, yeah. And then my arms, like, it's just so embarrassing because my arms and hands are like so weak and so little, and my whole body's huge. I don't know, it doesn't work. But anyway, like, it was really hard for me to, like, when you do the plank and then downward facing dog, I'm
Yeah,
like, it hurts too much, like,
you
and
have
it
to
hurt
ease
even
yourself
more.
into stretching. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, so I used to be able to kind of do it, but I think because I did so many, like literally my whole entire arm was all hurting, so I was like, I can't carry this big body, so I'll try again later.
Yeah, that reminds me. One thing I actually really want to start doing is like going gym. I mean, I work out and I go for runs and stuff like. Actually, all I do is I go for runs. Not gonna lie, I don't really do anything else, and I box sometimes, and I go cycling sometimes, and I walk. But I want to actually start going gym and like lift weights and build some strength.
You should. That sounds good. And
Yeah,
I actually wrote these ones down, so we can check back in December, inshallah.
yeah. Um, I'm excited. I'm gonna start doing my miracle morning. I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna do it right
Yeah,
now. How about that?
yeah,
Because it doesn't have to
do
be in
it.
the morning. Do you know what I mean? As long as you just
Yeah,
get it done,
yeah.
um, that should be good. But yeah,
Thanks for listening, guys,
yeah.
and
Thank you.
let us know what your achievements are, what you've learnt, and what your goals are for the rest of the year. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye, guys. Assalamu alaikum.
Bye.